My beloved child, are you ready to receive a new life? If your answer is, I am ready, then tomorrow night you shall have it. Yes, tomorrow night, when the full moon rises, your life will no longer be the same. I will grant you a new beginning. Tomorrow night is a night set apart, and what will come after tomorrow night is what you need to know at this very moment. My child, tomorrow night is the night of great promise and profound transformation. When the full moon ascends and its pure, gentle light touches all creation, it spreads a soft radiance filled with hope and renewal. Within that light, I call you to release the burdens of the past and to welcome the new life awaiting you ahead. Feel the cool breeze of the night, listen to the stillness of nature. All are speaking of a beginning, a place where you are free to live in the truth of who you truly are. Tomorrow night, the heavens themselves will bear symbols of transition and deep meaning. The full moon shines brightly, marking the close of old cycles and the birth of something new. Its light is a reminder that just as the moon waxes and wanes, your life too holds countless opportunities for change, for healing, for starting again. Now I speak to you with my most earnest words. Lay aside the anxieties that have grown old and weary, and prepare to receive the love and the promise that even now surround you. I have prepared tomorrow night as a moment of rebirth, a sacred chance for you to step out of the shadows of sorrow and walk into a brighter existence. Every gentle breeze, every tender ray of the moon carries the echo of the eternal love I bear for you, a love unchanging, patient, and full of hope. Lift your eyes to the heavens. Behold the full moon, behold the symbols of a holy rite, and the soft glow upon the horizon. These signs are sent so that you may know a new life of joy draws near, a life founded on love, on forgiveness, and on the gift of second chances. I know you have carried your burdens far too long. I have seen the struggles, the tears you have shed, and the pain you have endured. But now I offer you release. Allow the light of the full moon to bathe you, to cleanse your soul, and to fill you with the strength you need for a new beginning. Every trial, every moment of despair that you have faced has been the preparation for this very hour. Now as the moon rises high and its light illuminates the night, open your heart wide to receive the beautiful dawn I have prepared for you. Feel the strength that flows from the fullness of the moon. Let it fill you with power and hope. Envision its light as a gentle river, carrying away all wounds and regrets from your life, leaving you with a soul renewed, ready to embrace the radiant future that lies before you. You are not an outsider to this transformation. You are the very heart of it. You are the one chosen to shine within the reborn world I have created. Every beat of your heart is proof that you are alive, that you are capable of love, and that your new life is gradually taking shape. In the stillness of this night of change, listen closely to the music of creation. Hear the simple, beautiful song of nature as it harmonizes with your own heartbeat. In that quiet soundscape, you will find the promise of a new beginning. My voice comes gently and clearly like a whisper, rising from the depths of your heart, urging you to lay aside the sorrows of the past. Receive the clarity that flows from knowing you are loved, cared for, and destined for a future filled with light and hope. Every star that sparkles above you, every soft breeze that brushes your skin, reminds you of the endless beauty of this world and the boundless potential within you. The night sky preserves the stories of countless souls who have journeyed from sorrow into joy. You too carry such a story, one full of promise and strength. As you stand beneath the full moon, feel its light as more than mere radiance. It is a living symbol, a testimony to my eternal presence, carrying a message that whispers within your heart, you are ready to embrace a new life, beautiful and whole. Tomorrow night will not be an ordinary evening, but a sacred moment when heaven and earth meet as one. The worn fragments of your life, pain, grief, and loss will dissolve quietly into the stillness of the night. In their place arises a fresh current of energy, a spirit pure and new, inviting you to live again with hope and joy. The gentle moonlight, the subtle celebration of this hour, even the rosy glow of the full moon, all point toward one simple truth. Tonight, you are being renewed. Let these signs fill your heart with confidence that you were born for greatness, that you are here because of a mission written among the stars. Breathe deeply and let the peace of tomorrow's night soothe you. Feel the sacred energy flooding the air, embracing you like the warm arms of one who has always loved you. Let it remind you that you are not defined by past mistakes nor by moments of weakness. Tonight, a spotless page is given to you, a chance to begin again without regret, without chains to bind you. With every breath, feel courage rising within you, a courage born of the truth that you are loved without condition. Allow that truth to settle deep in your soul. You are free, you are chosen, and you are about to live a life overflowing with endless possibilities. This is a sacred time when the infinite opens its arms to you, inviting you into a life of sincerity, kindness, and pure joy. Every breeze that stirs, every star that gleams, is a reminder that you are an essential part of the wondrous fabric of life. All of your experiences, both pain and joy, have led you to this moment, a moment where healing and transformation are no longer distant but inevitable. Open your heart wide and receive the gift of rebirth. Allow yourself to be carried by the gentle promise of the night, and let the love of the universe fill the empty spaces within your soul. My beloved, look around you and see that you have never truly been alone. The world is filled with wonders, and every corner bears the mark of my eternal love. The light you feel is not only the moon's glow, it is also the warmth of my care, a constant that never changes, always guiding you through every dark passage. Take hold of this light and let it become the beacon that leads you into the future, a place where you are free to live as your truest self, where your dreams have room to flourish, and where every step you take is filled with hope. Tonight, trust the natural flow of life. Let each moment remind you that every ending is only the threshold of something new. The full moon, radiant in its splendor, is the sign of a wondrous beginning. It speaks to you, declaring that the past does not define you, and that you hold the power to build a bright future filled with sweet promises. With every beat of your heart, feel the new rhythm of life awaiting you ahead. A life where love, joy, and fulfillment are no longer distant dreams, but the living reality now reaching out to you. In the radiant light of this wondrous night, let go of all the heavy emotions that have weighed upon your heart. Release every doubt, every fragment of pain. Imagine them gently drifting away into the night, dissolving into the darkness that is now being filled with light. And in their place, allow yourself to be warmed by a love as vast as the sky, a love that promises to heal, to uphold, and to transform every part of who you are. This is the very miracle you have been waiting for. It is the chance to begin again, to step into a life no longer burdened, but overflowing with hope. Every whispered promise in the wind, every tender light that surrounds you, is a call inviting you into freedom, lifting you above the struggles of the past so that you may receive the beautiful potential awaiting you ahead. The universe is speaking to you in a gentle and unmistakable language, the language of love, of hope, and of constant encouragement. Let these words reach your heart. Let yourself be moved by the pure and powerful truth that you are seen, that you have worth, and that you are destined for a life that is whole and vibrant. Imagine yourself standing on the edge of a vast beginning, where every step forward brings you closer to a brighter, fuller life. The path before you may still feel unfamiliar, yet it holds countless opportunities for you to grow, to love, and to discover joy. Each moment of tomorrow night is a sign that you are ready to enter that future. With the radiant full moon shining upon you, feel its strength flowing through every fiber of your being, urging you to trust in the promise of tomorrow night. You are no longer bound by the hardships of the past. Now you are free, and the universe is ready to lift you into a life where each day overflows with light. Take this moment to look within, to recognize that deep inside you, there has always been a strength strong enough to carry you through every trial of life. Tomorrow is the celebration of that strength, the acknowledgement of the resilience that has brought you here. Embrace the light within you, the part that has long awaited the chance to shine unafraid and unrestrained. The time has come for you to live true to yourself, to live fully and joyfully, to welcome each moment of the new life awaiting your embrace. Open your heart to the gentle guidance of the world around you. Picture a steady, tender stream of light filling every corner of your mind and soul, a light that dissolves the bitterness of old wounds and replaces them with hope and clarity. That light is the love I give to you, a constant reminder that you are always cherished, always cared for. Whatever has happened in the past, under this light, you can see a future where every breath you take is filled with promise, where each day opens before you as a new adventure on the journey toward happiness. The changes that will come to you tomorrow night are not sudden, but the unfolding of a patient journey now revealing itself. Like the gentle turning of the seasons, your life is shifting into a moment of renewal. The pains and struggles of yesterday are quietly fading away as the night yields to dawn. In their place, you will begin to feel peace and a clear direction leading you toward what is truly meaningful love that surrounds you, beauty present in each moment, and the boundless potential that lies ahead. Feel that change within your heart like a soft breeze carrying away the final traces of sorrow. Let that breeze remind you that you are being lifted toward something wondrous, toward a life full of simple and genuine beauty. In every smile, in each gentle word, and in every quiet moment of reflection, you will find evidence of this transformation. It is no illusion but a visible, tangible promise that from this night on everything within you will begin to heal, and you will grow into a life overflowing with love, warmth, and tender beauty. Remember that every element of tomorrow night, the radiant full moon, the softly shining sky, the natural splendor surrounding you, carries within it the message of rebirth. They are speaking to you in a language clear and simple. Lay down the burdens that weigh upon your shoulders and step into the future with all the confidence you carry within. There is nothing ahead for you to fear, for every shadow that once haunted you is now being replaced by a light that is none other than the lamp guiding you home, a light that will never go out so long as you believe in its power. My beloved child, tomorrow night you will be given a priceless gift, the gift of a new beginning, an opportunity to live differently, to love more deeply. Imagine this new life as a beautiful journey where every step you take is upheld by the tenderness of the universe. The past no longer holds you captive, and every heartbeat within your chest is a reminder that you are completely free to live in the way that brings you the truest happiness for your soul. Embrace this freedom. Treasure each moment, and let your spirit soar high in the light of a new dawn. As night falls, let your eyes wander into the sky and drink in the shimmering beauty of the stars. Each star is a small promise. A promise that no matter how dark the world may seem, there is always a flicker of light shining somewhere. That light is the flame within you, a spark that has always been present, waiting for the moment to blaze forth. Tonight, that light burns brighter than ever, and it is calling you, inviting you to step out of the shadows and walk into the radiance of a new life. You are part of something greater than yourself, a vast web of life closely connected, stretching far beyond what your eyes can see. Within this great tapestry, every moment, every feeling, every experience of yours is woven with care and profound meaning. Know that the entire universe rejoices in you. Every star, every breath of wind adds its voice to the joyful hymn of rebirth, a song written only for you. This is your moment, your hour to shine, and nothing can stand in your way now. Let this new beginning fill you with a true hope, steady as the light of the full moon. Feel the power of this transformation sink into your very bones, and let it guide you step by step into a life brighter and more joyful than anything you have ever imagined. This is not merely a passing promise. It is a gentle, unshakable truth, a truth carrying the weight of the heavens. Allow yourself to be carried by this miracle. Believe that every tear, every stumble has led you to this moment of rebirth. Tonight, as you stand in the tender light of the full moon, know that you are loved more deeply than words could ever express. Let this love fill you with a peace that endures, a warmth that steadies, the assurance that no matter what comes, you are standing exactly where you are meant to be. Welcome the love of the night. Let it heal the broken pieces within you and renew your spirit with a gentle strength flowing from the depths of your soul. What I desire most is that you feel the truth of these words with your whole heart. Release every fragment of fear and despair and take hold of the radiant promise of a life transformed by love and hope. This transformation is not fleeting. It is the beginning of an unending cycle of renewal, a rhythm of rebirth that will carry you through every day ahead. With each passing moment, feel yourself growing lighter, freer, more in harmony with the beauty life is offering. Let the simplicity of this truth sink deeply into you. Tomorrow you will be reborn, wrapped in the light of the full moon and the loving embrace of the universe. Let this truth lead your steps forward, living each day with the awareness that you have been given the chance to begin again, to discover joy in the smallest things, and to love without hesitation. Tomorrow night will show you that the past is no longer a chain but a stepping stone, carrying you toward a radiant future full of promise and joy. Therefore, step into the new day with an open heart and a clear mind. Know that you are walking the path to a life where every moment carries love, where every hardship is met with new strength, and where every dream draws closer to reality. Tonight, beneath the gentle gaze of the full moon and in the soft embrace of the night, you have once again become whole. Let this be the dawn of a new journey, one that honors all that you are and all that you are becoming. Step into this new life with trust and with joy awaiting you. For every step you take is a step into a future overflowing with love, shining with hope, and sheltered by the eternal care of the universe. Receive this life with your whole heart, for now you are free to live fully, to love deeply, and to shine more brightly than ever before. My beloved child, listen deeply, for these words are not merely sounds that pass through your ears, but the heartbeat from my heart sent straight to your soul. Tomorrow night is not merely another turn of nature's cycle. It is a sacred chapter opening in your personal history. I want you to understand that the events unfolding carry meanings far beyond what the eye can see. The full moon rising, the soft rosy light along the horizon, the gentle wind through the leaves. These are signs I send to remind you that a miracle awaits you. They do more than beautify the sky. They are the divine language I use to write the story of your transformation. Do you remember the times you stood at the threshold of despair and thought you could not go on? Do you recall the quiet moments of prayer when you hoped I heard and would answer, "My child"? Those very moments have become the bricks that form the foundation for tomorrow. I have never ignored your weeping, never overlooked a single plea. Even when you thought I was silent, I was quietly preparing to give you an answer greater and deeper than you could hope for. Now tomorrow will stand as proof of that faithfulness. Do not imagine that what you await is small. Waiting itself has refined you so that you can receive this gift without losing it. Imagine your soul as a garden. For so long it endured a harsh winter, the weeds of anxiety, the pebbles of wounds, the dry earth of disappointment. Yet you do not see that I have been sowing seeds in that soil. Beneath the cracked surface, seeds of new life have been planted and quietly taken root. Tomorrow will be the rain from heaven, the gentle wind that stirs, and the sunrise that causes them to spring forth. Those seeds will grow into hope, joy, peace, and courage. You will witness your garden transformed, and you will realize that I never allowed it to lie fallow. Know that every sign in the heavens is not meant for all humanity alone, but for you personally. When the full moon rises, remember that its light also shines directly into your life, as if to say, "This is your time of renewal. This is when I restore you." I am not only giving you new life, but also new eyes to see yourself as I see you, not a person defined by mistakes, but an enduring soul, a splendid work in the process of being shaped. As Scripture says, "For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works." Ephesians 2:10. That passage does not speak of someone distant. It speaks of you. I have formed you for a purpose, and tomorrow is the turning point for living that purpose fully. I know you have worn many masks to survive in this world, sometimes appearing strong while your heart is weary, sometimes laughing while you cry inside, sometimes agreeing out of fear of rejection. But tomorrow night I invite you to take off all those disguises. I do not love a counterfeit version of you. I love the real you, weak yet brave, scarred yet longing for love. Under the full moon's light, there will be nothing to hide. You will find a freedom you have never known when you live true to the divine self I created. This freedom does not come from the world's acceptance, but from your recognizing that I accepted you before the world was formed. My child, let me tell you about the patience of my love. It is like a steadfast lighthouse on the shore, no matter how violently the waves strike. You have been lost at sea, searching for direction in life's storms, yet that lighthouse has kept shining, waiting, and never ceased to send its light to guide you home. Tomorrow night, when the moonlight and my light merge, you will feel that the lighthouse never went out. You will be surrounded by a gentle assurance you do not have to row alone anymore. I walk with you, I hold your hand, I lead you into safe harbor. Remember that every transformation begins within. Tomorrow night will not merely change the sky, it will change your heart. When you open yourself to receive the light, fear will no longer rule you as before. Just as the Israelites faced the Red Sea with trembling, it was obedience that opened the way for their miracle. So it will be for you. Simply open your heart, and I will lead you across the sea of impossibilities to the far shore where joy and peace await. You will look back and see that your steps were not by your strength but borne on my hands. Tomorrow night will also remind you that the past is not a prison. You once believed your mistakes would bind you forever, but look to the moon, you will see. It wanes and sometimes seems dim, yet it becomes full and bright again. So it is with your life. The days of lack and the times of failure do not determine the final outcome. They are temporary cycles meant to teach you the value of wholeness. When the full moon shines, believe that your life can be whole again. I will not allow your errors to write the last chapter. I hold the pen, and the next chapter is a chapter of restoration. Therefore, prepare your heart as a guest prepares to welcome a king. Cleanse the room of your soul by letting go of bitterness, forgiving what has passed, and opening the door to my presence. Tomorrow will be unlike any other day because it bears an eternal mark. When you step in, you will find that every longing, every desire, every deep yearning is met by my presence. You will no longer ask, "Are you here?" for the gentle light itself will be the answer. So come as you are, humble, hopeful, and expectant. Receive what is offered with a grateful heart. Let the light touch the places that ache. Let my presence settle the restless places. Hold fast to the truth that you are known, loved, and being renewed. Rest in the peace that surpasses understanding, and walk into the morning with the assurance that you are being made new. May tomorrow night's light find you ready, and may you be transformed from the inside out. My beloved, be assured of this: your future is not darkness but light, not loss but abundance, not loneliness but love. When the full moon rises, Take it as a sign that I am lifting you into a new life. You will be astonished to find the whole universe singing as though for you alone a symphony of hope, a song of rebirth. You are not merely a spectator, you are the central figure in that song. I have chosen you, called you by name, and now I proclaim you are ready to step into a new chapter where the light never fades. The beginning of this new life is not a random starting point. It is the fruit of an inner journey, a process of purification that begins in the most hidden places within you. I do not come to burden you with empty rituals, but to renew you at the roots where thoughts arise, where emotions flow, where reflexes have held you captive. The change I grant is a subtle transformation. It refines habits, rearranges patterns of thought, and opens a clearer vision of yourself and the world around you. When this unfolds, you will recognize that everything surrounding you has been arranged to reflect the new portrait I long to shape within you. Think of your mind as a room in need of cleansing. Over the years, you have stored up worries, regrets, disappointments, and nameless shames, layers that have dimmed the inner light. The work I invite you into is not to cover the dust with a new curtain, but to reach deep and remove it entirely, a process that requires time, skill, and courage. I will touch every corner, clearing away what has blocked the light until your true colors shine again. At first, you may feel suffocated, for shedding old garments always unsettles the heart, but that very discomfort is the sign of true movement. The old must give way, so the new may come. In this process, you will learn to discern your true voice from the many that once stirred your heart. The world lays heavy with noise, the desires of others, social standards, unseen expectations. They may have shaped you to the point where you forgot your roots. I invite you back to a single foundation. Listen to the whisper deep within, the one I placed there, the voice of truth, of dignity, of the longing to live true to your essence. As you learn to listen, you will know what to keep and what to release. This is the beauty of freedom, not escaping reality, but choosing to live by what is real, no longer bound by outside demands. I know you fear letting go. You worry that if you release the past, you will lose direction. Yet, my child, though letting go requires trust, it is in that very act that true direction comes. Imagine yourself upon a small raft on restless seas. If you cling to heavy weight, the raft will tilt and may overturn. But if you release it, balance is restored and the horizon becomes clear. Letting go does not weaken you. It frees the strength you need to move forward. The freedom I give does not come by clinging to the past, but by laying every burden into my loving hands. In this moment, I remind you of the times you rose after falling. Do not see your falls as endings. They are lessons teaching you how to stand steady. I have seen you grow in patience, in forgiveness, in love, even when wounded. These qualities will carry you beyond the limits of night and lead you into the light of a new dawn. The new life I give does not erase the past. It weaves it into a richer fabric, threads of experience, now dyed with the color of hope. Let small joys return into the rhythm of your days. I do not want you to wait for some great event to smile. Joy can spring from a sip of cool water, from the warmth of a sincere handclasp, from an unexpected word of gratitude. As you notice these small callings each day, you will find your life energy restored. Joy is not a luxury. It is the gentle music of a heart beating in harmony with my design. And when joy is rekindled little by little, you will discover that stepping into this new life is not a burden, but a blessing. My beloved, I also want to speak about your relationship with those around you. At times you may feel alone on this journey, as if no one truly understands. But remember, you do not walk alone. I have placed companions along your path to share the journey with you. Have the courage to open your heart, to receive support, to accept prayers, to allow others to become the bridge that helps you cross difficult stretches of river. Solidarity is a concrete expression of grace when you let others love you. I use that love to complete the work within you. Do not shut yourself off out of pride or wounded vanity. Receiving help is also a sign of maturity, an acknowledgement of your limits and your need for the divine and for your brothers and sisters. Throughout the process of recovery, you will face moments of doubt, times when you wonder whether change is real or only an illusion. In those moments, return to the promise. Remember the times I have stood by you, the times I lifted you up, and the occasions when I opened doors before you. Faith is not the denial of hardship. Faith is perseverance in the face of it. Cling to that faith like a rope across a stormy sea, and I will hold the other end. Now I want to give you an image to cherish. Imagine yourself as a great old tree after a long rainy season. The old branches fall away to make room for fresh shoots. The old roots are reinforced to support new foliage. The change within you will be similar. There must be space for the new to grow, which sometimes means allowing some things to wither. Yet it is precisely that withering that creates a firmer, more life-filled framework. When the tree unfurls new leaves, sunlight filters through every crack, brightening the surrounding landscape. You too will become a source of life for others through your experience, your consoling words, and the peaceful presence born only of one who has learned to come through the night. In closing, know that the new life I give is a continual journey, not a static destination. It requires that you walk step by step, learn step by step, and love step by step. You will stumble at times, but each time I will lift you, put new shoes on your feet, and give you strength to go on. Do not rush to compare your journey with another's. Each person has a cadence of their own, and that cadence is the unique reward for every heart that listens. Trust that I am guiding you moment by moment with a completeness your mind cannot fully grasp. Open your heart, breathe deeply, and walk in the light I give. Walk in freedom, hope, and love. My child, you have grown accustomed to living under the weight of the past, with invisible chains that bind your thoughts, emotions, and choices. Wounds have become shadows that follow you day after day, causing you to doubt your true worth. But now I proclaim to you the time has come to remove them all, the time to step out of the dark room where you were once imprisoned and receive the dawn waiting beyond the door. My beloved, do not think chains exist only in visible form. Chains can be persistent memories, the fear of being abandoned, the judgments you have heard and believed for years. Chains can be habits that keep you returning to places that no longer give life. Chains can be guilt you have not yet released, even though I forgave long ago. All these things create a burden that hinders you from walking in freedom. But today I place my hand upon those chains, and they no longer have power. As I freed Israel from the bondage of Egypt, so you will be freed from what has held you back. Believe that my hand is strong enough to break the chains and gentle enough to lift you without harm. When I speak of deliverance, do not suppose I only change your outward circumstances. True transformation begins within. A person may escape a prison of concrete and iron, yet still live in the prison of the mind if they do not let go. Therefore, the first thing I do is open the door of your soul. I breathe the Spirit of truth into you so that you may know you are unconditionally loved, totally forgiven, chosen, even before the world was formed. When that truth sinks into your heart, it is like a light that dispels the darkness, leaving no hold for invisible chains. From that place, every thought you have and every choice you make will flow from freedom rather than fear. Remember, freedom is not doing whatever you wish, but having the power to live according to what you were made to be. You were created to love, to create, to reflect my glory. When you live otherwise, in bitterness, in doubt, in bondage that is not your true self, now I restore to you the right to be yourself, not shaped by anyone else's mold, but by the eternal design I placed within you. Picture a bird long accustomed to living in a cage. When the door opens, it may falter, unsure how to fly, yet the wings remain, and when it tries, the sky becomes home. So it is with you, those wings were never lost. They are only waiting to spread and touch the wind. My child, I also know that new freedom can sometimes make you anxious. You have grown so accustomed to living within restraints that those chains have become a familiar safety. When they are gone, you feel emptiness and do not know what to hold on to. Do not fear, for that emptiness is to be filled by me. When my hand takes hold of you, you will no longer need the staff of fear to keep your balance. Let me become your foundation. As the psalm declares, the Lord is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Psalm 4:6-1. You do not walk alone, you walk held in my arms. Think of this journey as stepping through a doorway. Behind the door is darkness, but ahead is light. To move forward, you must have courage to cross the threshold, and that is the decisive moment. When you step through, you will feel a relief, like setting down a heavy burden you have carried for so long. The painful memories will no longer govern your feelings. The judgments of others will no longer define you. You will hear my voice more clearly, a gentle yet powerful calling. You are my beloved child. I delight in you. That declaration will become the firm foundation on which you stand, even when storms rage around you. Deliverance is not only for you, but so that you may become a witness for others. As you enter this new life, the light within you will shine for those still bound. They will see in you living evidence that chains can break, freedom is possible, and my love can transform anyone. You need not strain to prove this. The peace within you, the light upon your face, will be the most eloquent testimony. Like a candle glowing in a dark room, you do not need to shout, simply shine, and the darkness will dissipate. Receive this process with patience. I do not promise that all chains will fall in a single day, but I promise that strand by strand, layer by layer, they will be loosened. Like an onion peeled one skin at a time, you too will be set free piece by piece. There will be moments of pain when old layers are removed, but do not be afraid that pain is brief while freedom endures. As you trust me in each small step, you will find yourself lighter, clearer, and freer. And one day you will look back in astonishment and ask, why did I ever think I could not escape? My child, tomorrow night is not only the night you are delivered, but the day you receive a new vocation. Freedom is not for you to live for yourself alone, but that you might use your life to bear witness to my goodness. Remember that what you endure is not in vain. It will become a story, a song, a source of encouragement for those who long for freedom. When they hear you tell it, they will find hope for themselves, and so the circle of love continues to widen from you to others and from others back to me. Therefore, prepare your heart so that when the full moon shines tomorrow, you will feel the chains fall from your shoulders. Picture that moment, each link dropping to the ground, sounding out across the night to mark the end of one era and the beginning of a new chapter. Stand tall, lift your head, and breathe deeply the air of freedom. From that moment on, you will no longer be a prisoner of the past, but one chosen to live in the light. My beloved child, when the old chains have been removed, I know a void may appear in your heart. Many, when set free, are bewildered because they do not know how to live thus. They have grown so used to living in darkness that light blinds them. They have become so accustomed to hearing judgment that silence makes them uneasy. They have carried burdens so long that standing upright feels awkward. Yet precisely in that moment of bewilderment, I draw near to teach you how to take the first steps in your new life. Freedom is not merely escaping from darkness, but learning to live fully in the light. Allow me to lead you step by step, slowly but surely. You do not need to appear perfect at once. Do not believe that this new freedom demands you prove your worth by achievements or by forcing yourself never to err. You need not hide your fears or weaknesses. True freedom is the ability to face yourself without shame, because you know I have accepted you as you are. Imagine a toddler learning to walk. It falls then, is lifted by its parents. Falling is not failure, but proof that it is learning to walk. So it is with you. Each stumble in your new life is not evidence of lost freedom, but proof that you are learning to use freedom rightly. Learn to let your mind be cleansed of the old words that have taken root for too long. Often the chains have already fallen away, yet the mind still believes they remain. Like a bird whose cage has been opened, but that hesitates to fly, your mind needs to be retrained to believe it is truly free. So let my words soak into your thoughts. I say, "You are my beloved child. I delight in you." As you repeat that truth, it will gradually replace the judgments you once heard. You are not good enough. You are unworthy. You will never change. Those words will fade like echoes receding in a valley, leaving only the single resonance of truth. Beloved, the cleansing I give is not a one-time act that then ends. It is a flowing stream that runs continuously, washing clean day by day. Whenever you feel the dust of anxiety, fear, or anger cling to you, simply step into that stream. I will wash you, renew you, and make you rise fresh. Just as each morning renews the sky, my love continually renews you. As Scripture says, His mercies are new every morning. How great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:2-3. That means there is no day when you walk without my renewing grace. Be brave enough to look into the light, even if it dazzles you at first. Darkness may have been familiar, but it never brought life. The light at first may make your eyes ache, but in a short while, your eyes will adjust, and you will see how beautiful the world around you truly is. You will see colors the darkness once hid. You will see paths that you thought were dead ends. You will see your own face revealed, not distorted by fear or guilt. Then you will know that the light not only exposes truth, but also nourishes life. Remember, living in the light means allowing that light to shape every choice you make. The light is not merely for gazing at, it is for guidance. When you stand before a decision, ask, does this reflect the light I receive? Does this foster true freedom within me? If the answer is no, have the courage to let it go, however hard that may be. The light will show you small, sure steps, and as you follow them, you will find the whole way opening up. Let love be the compass for your new life. Love is not a nebulous feeling, but a transforming power. When you love, the chains have nowhere to grip. When you forgive, darkness loses its ground. When you give, you will find yourself richer. This is the secret of freedom. It is not merely for your own enjoyment, but to make you a source of life for others. As the moon reflects the sun's light, so you reflect my love to illuminate those still in the night. My child, fear will sometimes return and knock at your soul like an uninvited guest. It will replay the old words, "You cannot," "You will fail again," "You are unworthy." Do not argue with it, simply bring it into the light. The light itself will cause it to vanish. Just as darkness cannot stand when the sun rises, fear cannot stand when you dwell in truth. Practice this habit whenever doubt appears. Bring it before my light, and you will watch it dissolve. Tomorrow night, when the full moon shines, take it as a living lesson in dwelling in the light. The moon has no light of its own, yet by reflecting it, it becomes radiant. So are you. The light you shine does not come from your own strength, but from standing in my love. When you are in me, you will shine, and when you shine, darkness will have no place. Let this truth make you humble, yet courageous. You need not produce the light. Simply open your heart to receive and reflect it. Walk each day in this peace, my dear one. Freedom is not a fleeting feeling, but a way of life continually nourished. Each morning when you open your eyes, remember that you live in a new day, no longer bound by yesterday. Each night when you close your eyes, hand over every worry to me, so your sleep may be peaceful. And in every smallest moment, trust that my light surrounds you, even when your eyes cannot yet see it. Beloved, when the light has soaked into every hidden corner of your soul, I want you to pause a while and behold yourself in the mirror of truth. You are no longer a slave bound by fear or sin. You have become a free child, loved, forgiven, and called by name by the Creator. This is your new identity, one no one can take away. It does not depend on your achievements or the failures you once stumbled through, but on my unchanging promise. You are my masterpiece, made not to hide in darkness, but to shine like a lamp set on a hill. Your identity is no longer defined by past mistakes. The wrong turns, the choices that once shamed you, all have been washed away. Do not let the past speak as a judge. It no longer has power. I am the final judge, and I declare you forgiven, restored, and renewed. As you continue to live, some will try to remind you of old things, but do not let their words touch the root of who you are. Remember that a new seed has sprouted. The old tree has been cut away, its roots changed. You are no longer who you were. You are a new creation, and that newness will not be erased. Receive this new identity, not merely as a title, but as a way of life. Each day, put it on like a cloak, and walk with the confidence that you are not alone. When you face trials, remember that trials do not come to humiliate you, but to prove the strength that has been sown within you. When hardship comes, know that it is an opportunity for the light within you to shine more clearly. And when you find yourself weak, remember that it is precisely in that weakness that my power is most fully revealed. As the Apostle Paul wrote, "When I am weak, then I am strong," 2 Corinthians 1:2-1-0. Those words are not merely a philosophy. They are a living truth for you here and now. Let love become the firm foundation of this new identity. You no longer have to run to prove that you are worthy of love. You need not compare yourself to others to find your value. My love has been sealed upon your soul, and that seal cannot be erased. You are loved, not because you are perfect, but because I am love, and that love chose you before you were formed. When you internalize this truth, you will feel relief, for the burden of seeking acceptance will be gone. You may live freely, joyfully, and honestly, no longer fearing judgmental eyes. I do not want you to keep this renewal to yourself. I want you to be a witness. Imagine a candle lit in the darkness. Its light does not exist for itself alone, but helps others see the path. So it is with you. The freedom you have received is not merely for your enjoyment, but to illuminate the way for those groping in the dark. When they see peace on your face, hear hope in your words, and feel love in your actions, they will know that the renewal is real. You do not need to force anyone to believe. Your very presence will be living proof. Begin with small things. You do not have to deliver grand speeches or perform great deeds at once. A gentle word, an empathetic gesture, an act of forgiveness, all are sparks of light. And when you persistently kindle light through small acts, that light will grow, spread, and transform the environment around you. This is how my kingdom advances, not by violent force, but by quiet, steadfast illumination. This journey is not simple. There will be times when you feel the darkness trying to return, whispering that the renewal is only an illusion. There will be moments when you stumble and ask, "Have I truly changed?" In those moments, do not be discouraged. Remember that the light does not vanish because clouds cover it. Even when the sky is overcast, the sun remains. Likewise, your new identity does not disappear because of temporary weakness. It is still there, sure, enduring, waiting for you to rise and continue walking. Learn to strengthen this new identity by abiding continuously in me. As a branch must remain attached to the vine to bear fruit, so you must remain in me to live fruitfully. Take time to listen, to pray, to reflect. Do not treat this as a duty, but as breath itself. Just as you cannot live without air, you cannot live fully apart from the source of life. When you remain connected to me, every choice, action, and word will naturally reflect the light you have received. You will see your life make a real difference, not only for yourself, but for those around you. Know that this new identity is not only for the present, but also for the future. It prepares you to step into a greater mission. When you live according to your true nature, doors will open opportunities to serve, to give love, to build what endures. You will no longer be swept along by aimless currents, but will find yourself moving within the river of purpose. And within that purpose you will find deep joy, a joy not dependent on circumstances, but rooted in the truth that you are living according to the reason you were created. Beloved, you are a new creation, a child of the light, a witness to eternal love. Never forget it. Each morning, remind yourself, I have been renewed, I have been freed, I have been chosen. Each evening, entrust everything back to me and rest in the embrace of love. And in every day, in every step, live as if that light is the only reality, for indeed it is the true reality. My beloved, as you have just stepped out of the darkness, I see that your eyes are still hesitant, as if not yet accustomed to the brilliant light spreading through the space. That is natural, for you have lived too long in the cramped room of fear and sin. The initial brightness may dazzle you, but rest assured, you will grow accustomed, and once your eyes adjust, you will see the world in an entirely new hue. What once seemed hopeless will now blaze like a field of flowers at dawn. What were once fragments of life will be woven into a complete picture, hand-stitched by me since the beginning. Stop and feel the new breath circulating in your chest. Each heartbeat now is no longer weighed down by the burden of chains, but sounds like a victory drum announcing freedom. Listen, birds are singing, the wind is blowing, water is murmuring, all lifting up a song of life. That song does not only play in nature, it echoes within your very soul. You are no longer the weary wanderer dragging through the night, but a traveler embarking on a new journey, filled with light, hope, and peace. Child, this light is not only to show the way, but also to heal. There are deep wounds in your heart that you have hidden from others, and even from yourself. You thought if you kept them covered, time would blur them. In truth, those wounds merely sleep in the dark and sometimes still bleed when memory touches them. Now that the light comes, you may fear that your wounds will be exposed. But beloved, the light does not come to hurt you more, it comes to heal. When the light shines, it dries. The wounds disinfects the infected places and binds them with love. Allow that light to touch the places you never dared open for. That is the only path to true healing. This healing does not come in an instant, but is a process. Just as the sunrise does not immediately banish the night, but gradually dyes the sky gold, the light within you spreads little by little. Perhaps this morning you still hesitate, but tomorrow you will feel more confident. Perhaps today you still hear echoes of the past, but tomorrow those echoes will grow faint, making room for my gentle whisper. Do not be discouraged if you are not fully changed yet. Trust that the seed has been sown, and it is growing day by day under the light. My beloved child, stepping into the light also means you begin to see the world with new eyes. You will notice the small beauties you once overlooked, a simple smile from a stranger, a sincere thank you, a ray of sunlight through leaves, each becoming a sign of my presence. Life will no longer seem a meaningless repetition of days, but a grand symphony where every small detail has its place. Every dewdrop, every bird call, every breeze takes part in that music, and your heart will beat in time with it. However, do not think that the light will completely eliminate darkness. Darkness will still exist around you, but it will no longer rule you. It may whisper, it may try to pull you back, but it no longer has the power it once did. Remember that light does not have to struggle fiercely to defeat darkness. It simply needs to be present, and darkness dissolves on its own. Likewise, when you stand in truth, fear and falsehood cannot find a home. They may appear like passing clouds in the sky, but they cannot obscure the Sunday. Consider every challenge in your new life as an opportunity to strengthen your faith. Do not be surprised when difficulties still come, for trials are not signs you have returned to the dark, but exercises for your faith to grow stronger. Just as muscles are trained by resistance, faith too must be tested to become robust. When you persevere, you will find yourself increasingly steady. Remember that gold becomes brilliant only after passing through the fire. Your soul will shine more brightly after trials. Hope is the flame that keeps you standing. Hope is not fanciful dreaming, but the assurance that I am faithful. Hope is like an anchor that holds you from drifting in the storm. When you look forward, you will see that what I have promised never fails. I am not a man who makes a promise and forgets. I am the unchanging one, and my word endures beyond the cosmos. When you hold fast to that hope, you will find peace even amid the tempest. Practice living in the light through concrete actions. Forgive instead of nursing resentment. Speak words that build rather than words that wound. Bring a smile where gloom dwells. All these deeds are the ways you sustain the light within you. Light is not merely an inner feeling, but visible acts expressed outwardly. As you practice these things, the light will grow stronger, spread farther, and transform the environment around you. You do not walk alone. Sometimes you will think you are lonely, but in truth there is a community of people walking in the light alongside you. They may be near or far, yet together they form a network of love and hope. When you connect with them, you will feel upheld, encouraged, and reminded that you are not alone. Seek those companions, for through them I also show love and support. My child, stepping into the light is not only for the present, but also for the future. This is the beginning of a new journey, a journey that will take you to places you have never imagined. You will see doors open, opportunities arrive, and new relationships form. You will come to understand your calling more clearly, and you will realize that everything in your past, both joy and sorrow, was only preparation for this very moment. Walk with the trust that I am always with you. Let the light guide you and do not turn back to the darkness. The past no longer has power. The future is unfolding, and the present is where you can fully experience my love. You need not wait for some distant day to begin. Today, this very moment, you are already in the light. And when you live in the light, everything changes. Fear becomes courage, tears become joy, and burdens become wings that lift you high. My beloved child, when you have entered the realm of light, it is important not only to know you are redeemed, but also to learn how to live and preserve that freedom every day. A person newly freed from prison who does not learn how to care for their liberty may unknowingly return to chains. Therefore, I come near to teach you the art of living in the light, the art of keeping the heart tender, the mind watchful, and the soul oriented toward the undying source. Understand that the light is not merely an atmosphere around you, but a reality you must choose each day. Each morning when you open your eyes, you may choose to see life through the lens of hope or through the dim mirror of disappointment. Each evening when you close your eyes, you can choose to lay your worries before me or hold them tight within. Your freedom is woven from those small choices. Do not despise them, for the seemingly insignificant details build an entire way of life. You do not need a great upheaval to prove you are walking in the light. What matters are the daily steps, the quiet decisions that are steadfast and consistent. You will discover that the light I give you can illuminate even the most ordinary things. When you work, that light gives you patience and integrity. When you speak, it gives you gentle words instead of harshness. When hardship comes, it gives you peace instead of panic. Each moment you live in the light is a strengthening step. Like a plant in good soil tended by light and watered by truth, it will grow, bloom, and bear fruit. But I also know, my child, that not every day will be easy. Sometimes you will wake weary and feel the darkness knocking to return. Do not be alarmed. Do not think you have failed. Remember, the light does not vanish simply because you cannot perceive it clearly. Just as the sun continues to shine, though clouds obscure it, my light surrounds you, even when your mind grows dim. On such days, keep the discipline of faith. Pray, open your heart, follow the habits of brightness, and you will see the clouds disperse until the sun shines again. Beloved, to live in the light, you must let go of comparison. Darkness often returns in the guise of measuring yourself against others. They are better than me. They have more than I do. They move faster than I do. Such comparisons are invisible chains that pull you from the light, but your journey is unique. I do not call you to become another's copy. I call you to become the fullest version of yourself, the one I placed within you from the beginning. When you envy or belittle yourself, you turn away from that truth. But when you learn to honor yourself and your distinct path, you will find greater freedom, greater peace, and you will shine in a way no one else can. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is the key that widens the doors of the light. When you are grateful, your heart is kept in clarity, not clouded by bitterness. Be thankful for small things, a new day to live, a companion on the road, a lesson drawn from hardship. Be thankful even for the tears, for they cleanse the soul. Be thankful for wounds, for they testify to healing. Each expression of gratitude is like a candle kindled within your spirit, and as many candles burn together, darkness will find no place to hide. My child, the light you carry is also the instrument I use to transform the world. Do not think change comes only from great leaders or sweeping events. World renewal begins with one transformed heart and then spreads to those nearby. When you love, when you forgive, when you choose peace, you create a chain reaction of light. A small act can become the spark that ignites a glow in another's heart, and from there the light spreads far and wide. You may not see the full results, but I see them. I rejoice when your light joins with my great light to renew the earth. Do not forget that light always goes hand in hand with truth. Sometimes the truth is hard to hear. Sometimes it forces you to face yourself. But remember, truth never comes to destroy, but to set you free. As I have said, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:32. When you accept the truth, even the painful truth, you will find yourself lighter. That is an important step to firmly live in the light. Do not fear the truth, fear the false darkness. For darkness may bring temporary comfort, but truth grants you lasting freedom. Be patient with yourself. Do not expect to become perfect overnight. The light works day by day, step by step, breath by breath. Rejoice in small advances, for those small gains accumulate into great transformation. Do not let small failures discourage you. Each time you fall, you learn something new and move closer to maturity. And I, who love you, will never abandon you, simply because you are not yet perfect. I see the journey, not only the results. I see your heart, not only the stumbles. Live in the light by always remembering the mission given to you. You do not exist merely to live comfortably. You are here to reflect love, to sow hope, to bring light into dark corners. When you live with an awareness of that mission, even small tasks become sacred. A smile, an encouraging word, a compassionate deed, all form part of the grand design. And you will see that life is no longer meaningless, but becomes a holy pilgrimage in which each day carries eternal value. Walk in the light with courage and humility. Courage to not fear the remaining shadows, and humility to know that the light does not come from your strength, but from me. When you keep both, you will see your life like a clear river flowing through every season, reflecting the beauty of the sky. That river will not only cool you, but will nourish those who thirst along its banks. My beloved child, living in the light is not merely a temporary feeling in moments of prayer or stillness. It is a way of life to be sustained in every action, every thought, every choice. Like a farmer who does not sow once and then neglects the field but waters weeds and guards it daily, you must tend the light in your heart so it does not fade. This is maturity in the new journey, learning to keep the flame burning brightly even when strong winds and storms come. Remember that the light in you is not separate from daily responsibilities. You might think that to live spiritually you must withdraw from the world, but the truth is the light shines most brilliantly when it touches ordinary reality. When you work with integrity, you shine. When you love your family with patience, you shine. When you forgive one who has hurt you, you shine. There is no need to seek a grand stage. Ordinary life is where the light radiates most powerfully. Every small act done in love becomes a reflection of the light within you. There will be times you ask, "How can I keep the light when the world around me is so full of darkness?" The answer is to remain continually connected to the source. An oil lamp that is not replenished will burn out. So it is with you. If you are not in me, the light will dim. But when you stay attached to me through prayer, reflection, and listening for my voice in silence, you will be continually refueled. You cannot produce the light by your own strength, but you can keep your heart open to receive the steady influx of light from me. Then you will never run dry. Living in the light does not mean never encountering darkness. Darkness will still try to creep in through temptation, through disappointment, through indifference. But the difference now is that darkness no longer rules. When you find yourself off course, return to the truth. The light is still here, always ready. Do not harshly blame yourself when you stumble. Do not think one moment of weakness ruins everything. Rise up, lift your eyes, and walk on. It is the act of rising that most strongly proves the light lives in you. Consider patience your faithful companion. Many enter the light and hastily demand immediate results, instant life change, immediate circumstance shifts, everything suddenly favorable. But my child, the light does not act like a fleeting miracle. It is like the sun nurturing trees. A tree needs time to root, to grow, to bloom, and to bear fruit. So do you. You need time for transformation to become durable. Do not lose heart because you do not yet see fruit. Trust that if the root is planted in the light, the fruit will surely come in its season. My beloved, do not forget that the light within you is not only for yourself but for the whole world. I did not bring you out of darkness merely so you might be at peace. I brought you out to be a witness. Imagine yourself as a lamp set on a hill. It does not shine for itself alone, but so those in the valley may see the way. So it is with you. Your new life is an invitation to those groping in the night. They will see in you living proof that renewal is real, that darkness is not the final destiny. Begin with small things. A sharing embrace, an encouraging word, an act of listening. These seemingly minor deeds are rays of light that break through someone else's darkness. Do not underestimate the power of a compassionate act. It can change a life. And as light spreads from person to person, darkness will be gradually pushed back. This is how my kingdom expands, not by force, but by the quiet, persistent spreading of loving light. Beloved, another important thing is to live in truth. Light and truth cannot be separated. When you are honest with yourself, you have taken a deeper step into the light. When you dare to admit weakness, you open the door for the light to heal. When you look squarely at what is unfinished within you, you allow the light to do the work of renewal. Do not fear the truth, fear falsehood, for lies keep you imprisoned while truth sets you free to live in liberty. Remember that hope is the flame that keeps the light burning. You may pass through dry seasons when you do not clearly sense the presence, but do not mistake that for the light going out. It remains waiting for you to persist in keeping the flame of hope. Like a seed within the earth, though unseen, it is alive and reaching upward, and it will sprout in spring. So keep hope in quiet days, for I am working in secret, preparing the eruption of new life. My child, as you walk in the light, you will find yourself increasingly freed from what once bound you. Fear will no longer dominate your choices. Guilt will no longer make you bow your head. Human judgment will no longer be the shackle. You may lift your head not in pride, but confident in the truth that you are a child of light. You will experience a peace that does not depend on circumstances, but flows from living true to your purpose. Let the light within you become a legacy for those who come after. You do not live only for the present, but sow seeds for future generations. When you live in the light, you pass on a lamp to your descendants, to your community, to those you touch. And when many lamps are kindled, the whole world will shine. That is my plan. From one renewed person, light spreads into a movement. From a small flame, it becomes a sea of loving fire. Walk in the light with gratitude, with patience, and with steadfast hope. For you no longer belong to darkness, but have become children of the day. And when you live like this, your life will be a song of praise, living proof that light has overcome darkness, that love has conquered fear, that hope has triumphed over despair. My beloved, after you have walked for a while in the light, I know new challenges will begin to come, not because the light is failing, but because the darkness around you still exists and will not easily relinquish its hold. Darkness will attempt to test you, not to destroy you, but to refine your faith, to prove that the light within you is genuine. As gold shines brightest after passing through fire, your faith becomes clear through trials. So do not be afraid when difficulties arise. Regard them as sacred tests in which you are being strengthened to grow further in the new journey. Trials are not evidence that I have abandoned you. On the contrary, they are signs you are on the right path. If you still feel opposition from darkness, it only proves that your light is making an impact. Darkness seeks to hinder those who have left it behind. Therefore, stand firm. As a young tree must endure strong winds, so its roots dig deeper into the soil, you too need storms, so your roots may deepen in truth. When roots are secure, no tempest can uproot you, and you will find that through each storm you are not destroyed, but become stronger, more resilient, and all the more radiant. My child, when you face adversity, remember my presence. I do not promise that you will never meet storms, but I promise that I will always be with you in the storm. As Scripture declares, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned. Isaiah 4:3-2. See then, no power can destroy you when you walk in my light. Tempests may make you tremble, but they cannot steal your foundation. Waters may rise, but they cannot drown your soul. Fire may rage fiercely, but it cannot consume the new identity I have given you. View adversity as a stern but faithful teacher. It instructs you. In lessons, no book can convey patience, while you wait humility in the face of your limits, courage to stand alone, and utter trust when there is nothing else to hold on to. You will find that in your weakest moments you learn the deepest lessons. True strength comes from me, not from you. When you understand this, you will be freed from the burden of proving anything to the world. Remember that faith is not measured by how many trials you avoid, but by how firmly you hold on amid them. Faith is not the absence of storms, but the continuing to row in the storm because you know I am in the boat with you. When the disciples panicked in the boat because of the raging waves, they forgot that I was there, but a single word from me stilled the wind and sea. So when anxiety arises, recall that I never abandon the vessel. I do not leave you to struggle alone. I am here to remind you that my power exceeds every wave. Do not forget that adversity is also where you learn the strength of community. I do not call you to walk alone, but to walk as a unified body. When you are weary, lean on others. When you are weak, let them pray for you. When you stumble, let them lift you up. Accepting help is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. Just as the members of a body cannot live in isolation, you need brothers and sisters to journey with you. Your light shines brighter when it blends with theirs. Beloved, sometimes adversity comes from outside, and sometimes it rises from within, from doubt, from weariness, from the temptation to return to familiar darkness. I know you will have such moments. Yet remember, doubt does not extinguish your light. It gives you the opportunity to strengthen it. When you doubt, return to the promise. When you are tired, rest in my arms. When tempted, call upon my name, and darkness will retreat. You are not alone in the inner battle. I am there, the one who grants strength, so you may overcome. See your life as a long journey in which every stage has purpose. Some stretches are smooth and easy, others rugged and slippery. All lead toward the destination I have ordained. Do not be discouraged because you have not yet arrived. Remember that every step, however small, brings you nearer the goal. And in every step I am present, guiding, encouraging, assuring you will not stray if you hold my hand. Adversity is never the full stop. It is but a comma in the story, pausing, so you may reflect, regain strength, and then continue to write the next chapter. Never let temporary failure become your permanent definition. I am the one who writes the story, and while I have not finished, your page continues. Trust that every event can be woven by me into a beautiful tapestry. Always remember, you are not called to live by your own strength. The light in which you walk is not of your making nor sustained by sheer will. It is a gift, and because it is a gift, it is given anew each day, flowing unceasingly from my heart. Learn to receive rather than to control. In surrender, you find true peace. Do not think that you must always be strong to be worthy of the light. I know your limits, your moments of fatigue, your fragile times. It is precisely then that I draw near more than ever. You need not strain to prove yourself. Let me be your strength. As the Apostle Paul heard me say, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:2-9. Therefore welcome even your weakness, for it is the opportunity for my power to be displayed. Beloved, to entrust is not to give up nor to sit idly by. To entrust means doing your part, and yet knowing the outcome belongs to me. It is like the sower who faithfully plants, waters, and tends, while I am the one who gives the increase. Be faithful in what you are called to do, and surrender the rest to me. Do not exhaust yourself trying to control what is beyond your reach. When you stop and place it in my hands, burdens lighten and peace fills your heart. My child, life is full of things you cannot foresee. Some roads suddenly turn, some doors unexpectedly close. Some relationships you thought would last forever abruptly end. In those moments you may be confused, you may wonder why. But I want you to know that nothing lies outside my plan. I allow endings not to bring you loss, but to open the way for something greater. Just as a grain of wheat must fall to the ground and die before it can bear many seeds, there are things in your life that must close, so new life may arise. Believe that every door that closes hides another door, preparing to open a door wider, brighter, and opened at the right time. My child, learn to see adversity as an opportunity to train the eyes of your faith. Natural sight only notices what is immediately before it, hardship, lack, dead ends. But the eyes of faith look through circumstances to see my hand at work. When Israel stood before the Red Sea, they saw only a blocked path and an enemy behind them. Yet through eyes of faith, Moses saw a dry way being readied through the sea. Be the same, learn to view situations not merely with your natural sight, but with eyes of faith. Those eyes will help you see what others cannot, hope and despair, a path in an alley, life in the midst of death. At times I allow you into tight places to enlarge your vision. When you are pushed to the limit, you discover that true strength does not reside in yourself, but in me. Just when you think you cannot endure another moment, I give you strength to go on. And when you come out, you will look back and see that you have gone far beyond what you imagined. That experience will become a holy memory, proof that my grace is sufficient for you in every situation. Remember that steadfastness does not come from never wavering, but from returning after every falter. Like bamboo bending in the wind, yet held by deep roots, it does not uproot. You will tremble before trials, but if your roots cling to my love, you will not be undone. After every storm, you will find yourself more resilient, more steadfast, able to bow when necessary, and to rise at the right time. My child, know that no trial is meaningless. Every pain, every tear, every stumble is used by me to form something within you. Do not despise small days, for it is in those quiet times that I am quietly shaping you. As a patient sculptor chips at stone, so I patiently carve you through each circumstance. You may not yet see the finished statue, but I see it, and I know that each cut and each mark are necessary to make the work beautiful. I want you to understand that every adversity is a step that lifts you higher. If you remain in your comfort zone, you will never discover the fullness of the potential I placed within you. Only when pushed beyond ease do you uncover hidden strength. And that strength is not simply for survival, but for shining forth to become living testimony that light is stronger than darkness. So do not pray for a life without trials. Pray for the faith to pass through them. Do not wish for a smooth road. Wish for feet that are resolute enough to travel it. Do not ask for constant sunshine. Ask for a heart at peace that can sing even in storms. When you learn this, you will no longer fear upheaval, for you will know there are opportunities for the light within you to reveal itself more clearly. All things are working together for your good, as I have promised. Romans 8:2-8. You may not understand now, but later you will look back and see how every shard in your life contributed to a larger picture. Each disappointment, each tear, each doubtful turn, all are held in my hand, and I never waste a detail. Even what you see as a dead end, I will use to open a new way. Even what you call loss, I will turn into valuable capital to teach and strengthen you. Walk forward with firm faith, my child. Let trials become companions, let faith be your compass, and let hope be your wings. Remember that wherever you go, I am there, surrounding, sustaining, and guiding you. Not a single tear falls that I do not know. Not one sigh escapes my hearing. You never have to fight alone, for I always fight with you. Beloved child, I know you have often asked, how do I keep my faith when trials press upon me and the road ahead is shrouded? I want you to understand that faith is not a passing feeling, nor a momentary enthusiasm. Faith is a foundation, an anchor that holds you steady through the storm. Feelings change and circumstances shift, but steady faith will carry you through everything. It does not depend on how you feel. It rests on the unchanging truth that I am with you, that I love you, and that my plans for you are good. My child, learn to separate faith from emotion. Do not wait until you feel strong to believe, for there will be days of weakness. Do not wait until the path is clear before you step, for sometimes I illuminate only the next step. True faith is daring to walk even when your natural eyes see nothing. As Abraham left his homeland without knowing the destination, he trusted the one who called him. You are invited to walk similarly, not guided by a clear map, but by firm promises. Imagine not following a clear road, but stepping at my call. I do not demand that you understand everything. I only require that you trust that I am the one who holds all things. There are many matters beyond your comprehension, but nothing is beyond my power. When you face circumstances you cannot explain, rather than becoming anxious, let them become opportunities to exercise your faith. Tell yourself, I do not understand, but I believe. I do not see, but I know you are at work. I do not control this, but you control everything. As you repeat these words, your heart will be comforted, and your faith will take deeper root. Faith not only keeps you standing, it helps you find joy amid adversity. This is not a superficial joy that depends on circumstances, but a profound gladness that arises from knowing you are loved and protected. That joy may appear as a calm smile even while tears still fall. It may burst into song in the depths of the night. As Paul and Silas praised God in prison, true joy is not shackled nor confined by four walls. It is free, it is strong, and it shines like a lamp despite the darkness around it. My child, learn to see adversity as a hidden song. Though its opening melody may sound harsh, if you patiently listen, you will discover harmonious notes. I never allow trials to come merely to make you suffer. I transform trials into a composition in which the low, somber passages serve to highlight the high, triumphant ones. When you view life as music, you will no longer resent the sorrowful notes, but understand that they too contribute to the work's perfection. Let gratitude become a habit on difficult days. In giving thanks, you do not deny the pain, but you see the good that still remains. Give thanks because you still breathe, because you have the opportunity to learn, because you are surrounded by love. Be grateful even for adversity, for it teaches you things no one else can. When you focus on what is worthy of thanks, your mind brightens and darkness loses much of its power. Do not keep your faith and joy to yourself. They are given to be shared. When you tell how I upheld you through a storm, you kindle hope in others. When you live in peace amid trouble, people will see and want to know the source of your strength. You will become a witness not only by words, but by your very life. And that is how light spreads from one heart to another, from one life to the next. Remember, you need not do extraordinary things to be a witness. A comforting word, a kind deed, a listening presence. These are all light. This world is not short of sermons, but it lacks lives that live them out. When you live genuinely in the light, you are a living message, clearer than any argument. People may debate theories, but they cannot deny a life renewed. I know there will be times when you feel small before the world's vast problems. You may think, what use is my light in such dense darkness? But remember, however thick the darkness, it cannot extinguish a candle. A single beam can guide someone's steps. And when many candles join, the whole room becomes bright. Do not underestimate the power of the small light within you. When you faithfully shine where you stand, your light will meet others' lights, and together they will illuminate the world. My child, continue to walk with steadfast faith, enduring joy, and a sharing spirit. Remember that your life is not a series of random days, but a purposeful journey. Every step you take, every trial you overcome, every joy you hold fast, each contributes to the great plan I have for you. When you live like this, your life becomes a song of praise, a lighthouse of hope, and a testimony that light is never extinguished. Beloved, after you have learned to stand firm in the light and keep faith amid adversity, I want to lead you into a deeper truth: love. Everything I do, every plan I devise, every word I speak, springs from unchanging love. If light is the path and faith is the footstep, then love is the heartbeat that keeps the journey alive. Without love, light would grow cold. Faith would harden into rigidness, and hope would become mere theory. But when love is present, all things come alive, powerful and radiant. Look back over your life and see that love has upheld you, even when you did not recognize it. That love waits patiently for your return, never hastily judging. It embraces you when you are exhausted, wipes away your tears, and whispers, "You are still mine." No mistake, no wound can be greater than that love. As Scripture says, love never fails. 1 Corinthians 1:3-8. Let this truth sink deep into your heart. Everything else may change, but the love I have for you remains constant. My child, the love I give you is not meant merely to be kept in your heart, but to flow through you to others. You are called to be a channel, not a reservoir. If you hoard love for yourself alone, it will gradually become closed and dry up. But when you let love flow, it will never run out. Like a river that never dries because it keeps running, the love within you will not be exhausted when it is continually given away. This is the secret of lasting joy: to give without loss, to give and yet be filled. Begin practicing love in the smallest things. Forgive those who have hurt you, even when they do not apologize. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means freeing your heart from the chains of resentment. When you forgive, you release not only the other person, but also yourself. Be patient with the difficult and unpleasant, for love does not wait for perfection before it gives. It gives so that goodness may be formed. Share what you have with those in need, even if it is only a smile or an encouraging word. Do not think love is shown only in grand deeds. It is the small acts that hold the power to melt the hardest hearts. True love is not always easy. It requires sacrifice, the letting go of self, and sometimes the willingness to be hurt. Yet this is what makes love noble. If you love only when it is convenient, that is not true love. True love is when you choose to love even when it is not returned, when you continue to give even in weariness. This is the love I displayed on the cross, the love that dared to go to the end to redeem humankind. As you learn to live in such love, you become the clearest reflection of me. Remember, love is the only force that can transform the human heart. Reason may provoke argument, law may coerce, but only love touches the deepest place. You may try to teach with words, but without love, your words will pass by their ears. Conversely, a quiet act of love can leave a lifelong mark. Therefore, I invite you not merely to speak of love, but to live it. Let every gaze, every word, every deed issue forth that warmth, so that whoever meets you may sense my breath. Beloved, love is also the bridge to yourself. There are times you condemn, reject, or even harm yourself. But know that you are loved not only by me, you are also invited to love yourself not in pride, but in reverence. Care for your body as the temple of the Holy Spirit. Cherish your soul as sacred ground, where seeds are sown. Be patient with yourself, as I am patient with you. When you learn to love yourself in truth, you will be able to love others more fully. Love is not reserved for the lovable alone. It is for the difficult and the unlovely as well. I teach you to love, even your enemies, for love does not discriminate. This does not mean you allow harm to continue, but it means you choose not to let hatred rule. When you love your enemy, you break the cycle of vengeance and open the way to peace. That is love's power to turn foe into friend, hatred into forgiveness, darkness into light. Let love become the hallmark of your new life. People may forget your words, but they will remember how you loved them. They may disagree with your views, but they cannot deny the love you showed. And that love will be the most eloquent testimony of the change you have undergone. Let your life be a living love letter to the world, a letter written without ink, composed of deeds, glances, smiles, patience, and forgiveness. When you live in love, you enter the rhythm of the eternal. For in the kingdom, gifts will one day cease, knowledge will pass, languages will fail, prophecy will end, but love endures. Love is the only thing that remains forever. When you love, you participate in my undying life. That is the highest honor a human being may have, to become an instrument reflecting eternal love to the world. Beloved child, the love I give you is not only for you to feel inwardly, but for you to practice in every relationship of your life. If love remains only an emotion, it will fade, but when it becomes action, it changes reality. Remember that love is not theory, but a living power able to rebuild what is broken, to mend what is torn, and to heal what is bleeding. First, love transforms your relationships with your family. I know that even among the closest of kin, deep wounds can open. A careless word, a cold gesture, a prolonged silence, any of these can become a wall that separates. But my child, love is stronger than every wall. When you choose to lower your pride, when you choose to forgive, when you choose to begin again, that wall will slowly crack. Love is like water seeping into dry fissures, gradually turning a wasteland into a flourishing garden. Do not wait for others to move first. Be the one who plants the seed. And trust that this seed of love, though small, will grow into a great tree. Next, love transforms your relationship with others, the people you meet each day, perhaps only in passing, yet every encounter carries significance. You do not know how your smile might rescue someone standing on the brink of despair. You do not know how a small word of encouragement from you might lift a person after a long, weary day. Love does not need grand gestures to be meaningful. It often hides itself in the simple things. It is precisely those small, timely acts that make a difference because they arrive where and when the heart most needs them. Love also transforms your relationship with your enemies. I know this is not easy. Forgiving someone who has hurt you feels contrary to instinct. But remember that holding on to hatred only exhausts your soul. When you choose forgiveness, you do not deny the pain. You hand it over to me so that I may heal it. Forgiveness is not condoning, it is liberation. And love is powerful enough to turn foe into friend, hatred into reconciliation. Remember my teaching, love your enemies, and pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:4. In doing so, you most clearly reflect my nature. My child, love also transforms your relationship with yourself. There are times you blame yourself for the past, compare yourself to others, or deny your own worth. But I want you to know that my love covers the parts of you you have not yet accepted. When you learn to see yourself with eyes of love, you will no longer be merely a sum of failures, but a work in progress being formed. Treat yourself with kindness, speak words of encouragement to yourself, and be patient with the process of growth. Love does not rush, it waits. When you wait on yourself in love, you will witness profound change. Love has the power to heal communal wounds in neighborhoods and society. When many live for the self-division spreads. But when a small group lives by love, they become the leaven that lifts the whole dough. A loving community need not be perfect, but it must be genuine. When people learn to listen, to forgive, to support one another, that community becomes a shelter for the wandering and a resting place for weary souls. Through such a community, the world can glimpse the reflection of my kingdom. Hear me, love requires courage. Courage to speak the truth, even when it is hard to hear. Courage to put another's good above your own. Courage to sacrifice time, strength, and resources for others. Do not mistake love for weakness. Love is strength. It is stronger than hatred, stronger than fear, stronger than death. And when you live by love, you carry within you a power that cannot be destroyed. Love is also the language of hope. When you give love, you plant hope in another's heart. A person may have lost faith in themselves, yet through being loved, they begin to believe they still have worth. A person may despair for the future, yet through love they see a way forward. Therefore, love is never wasted. Even if others do not reciprocate, even if outcomes fall short of your expectations, love leaves a mark. It is like a seed that may lie dormant in the soil for a long time, but when the season comes, it will sprout. Let love define your whole new life. Do not allow the past failures or successes to define you. Do not let the judgments of others determine your worth. Let my love define you, that you are beloved and you are called to love. When you live by this definition, you will know true freedom. No longer will you fear judgmental eyes or run to prove yourself. You will dwell in the safety of love, and from that place you can give without fear of being depleted. I want you to know that when you live in love, you become a powerful witness to the world. People may reject your arguments, but they cannot deny your love. They may doubt your words, but they will not be able to deny your deeds. And when they touch that love, they touch me, for I am love. So let love flow without ceasing, and let your life become a channel through which the river of grace pours forth. Beloved child, love is not merely the spring that renews your private life, but a mighty river that flows through history, carrying the power to transform the whole world. When you walk in love, you join that current and become part of a grand design far beyond personal sight. Never underestimate what love can do for it. Has toppled the strongest walls, healed the oldest wounds, and altered the destinies of nations. If hatred can drag humanity into the abyss, love lifts it toward the heavens. I have sown that love within you, so that you may participate in this work of renewal. Child of mine, when you let love lead, you become an instrument of peace. This world is full of conflicts, from households to societies, from petty disputes to full-scale wars. But every conflict begins in a heart lacking love. When love is planted, conflict will gradually dissolve. You cannot change everything in a single day, but you can begin where you stand. A gentle word can quench an argument. A yielding act can prevent a grudge. A decision to forgive can stop the cycle of revenge. Those small acts, joined with many other hearts, will become a force that transforms communities. Love is not a fragile feeling, but a steadfast choice. There will be times when you do not feel like loving, yet when you choose to love, you accomplish something great. True love does not rely on passing emotions, but on the truth that every person bears the image of the Creator. When you see that image in another, even in an enemy, you will find reason to love. And when you choose to love, you open the way for healing. For love has the power to shatter the walls of hatred and to mend what seemed irreparably broken. Child, I desire you to be a living mirror for the world. People do not need more theories about love. They need to see love in action. When you care for the weak, share your resources, or stand for justice on behalf of the oppressed, you become a shining example. Your light will cause others to pause, to reflect, and sometimes to change. Do not think your deeds are insignificant. A single drop of water makes ripples across the lake. You are that drop of love, and I will use you to raise waves of change. There is a depth of love you must learn the capacity to endure. Loving is not always easy, for you will face betrayal, ingratitude, even rejection. Yet true love does not give up. It is like a persistent flame that burns despite the wind, like a river that continues to flow though blocked by hidden rocks. Patient love endures not from weakness, but because it knows every soul is worth waiting for. By loving in patience, you participate in my very nature, for I have waited for humanity across the ages and never abandoned them. Remember that love not only heals others, but heals you as well. When you love, your heart expands and bitterness recedes. When you love, your spirit softens and fear dissolves. When you love, you discover life's purpose, for you were created to give, not merely to receive, and in giving you are filled. This is the mystery the world fails to grasp. The more love is given away, the more it multiplies. The more you open, the more you overflow. That is the miracle of love. Beloved child, love is the language of eternity. Other things will pass, fame will fade, wealth will be lost, knowledge will change, but love remains. When you love, you are storing up a treasure for eternity, a treasure untouched by decay and safe from theft. Every act of love, however small, is recorded in the everlasting chronicle. And one day when you enter my full presence, you will see that every tear shed, every sacrifice made for love had meaning and contributed to heaven's undying song. Let love become the compass for every decision. When you are uncertain, ask, which choice reflects love? When you hesitate between paths, choose the one that sows the most love. You will not go wrong when love is your guiding principle. For love seeks no selfish gain, causes no harm, and commits no injustice. Love always uplifts, builds, and heals. And when you choose love, you walk in my way because I am love. Beloved child, it is love itself that opens for you the door into eternal life, not by merit, not by effort, but by the saving power of love. And that love invites you to keep giving so that the world may taste the fragrance of heaven even now. Whenever you love, heaven draws near. Whenever you forgive, heaven is revealed. Whenever you sacrifice for another, heaven touches the earth. This is your mission, to become an instrument that brings heaven to earth through love. So live fully in love. Let love define your identity, guide your choices, and transform the world through you. In doing so, your life will be more than a private journey. It will be part of the grand portrait of eternal love. And when your journey is complete, that very love will welcome you into the everlasting embrace, where there are no more tears, no more pain, only a song of love that echoes forever. Beloved, when you walk in the light, hold fast to faith, and let love be the heartbeat of your life. I desire to lead you further into the eternal horizon. This path does not end in the transient days on earth. The life you live now is but the overture to an endless song. If you view life only with present eyes, you will grow weary, discouraged, and disheartened. But if you lift your gaze, you will see that all you endure is preparing you for a glory beyond comparison. Imagine a pilgrim on a long road. Along the way, they grow tired, lose their way, and suffer wounds, yet they press on because they know the destination is a radiant stronghold. So it is with you. Every trial, every sacrifice, every tear is not meaningless, for all lead you toward a place I have prepared from the beginning. As promised in John 1:4-2, "In my Father's house are many rooms. I'm going to prepare a place for you." You may rest assured that you do not live for a vague future, but for a true homeland. Child, this eternal hope is not a distant dream, but the power for each day. Knowing that suffering is temporary gives you courage to endure. Knowing that every tear will be wiped away gives you reason to continue. Knowing that acts of love have eternal value prevents you from seeing your labor as vain. Hope does not make you escape reality. It enables you to live it with renewed strength because you know you are helping to build what endures. Learn to view ordinary events in the light of eternity. When you work, do not think only of wage or status, but that you are helping to lay a foundation of righteousness. When you love, do not expect to return alone, but know you are sowing seeds that will sprout in the eternal garden. When you endure injustice, do not dwell only on pain, but consider that you are storing up a treasure no thief can steal. Every small act resonates into the life to come. I know at times you grow tired and feel the road is too long, but remember, you do not walk alone. The Holy Spirit is the comforter, the companion ever at your side, reminding, encouraging, and empowering you. When you fall, He lifts you. When you stray, He points the way. When you despair, He rekindles hope. You are not a lone soldier on a battlefield. You belong to a great procession, and above all, I go before you to lead and to cover you. Eternal hope also teaches you to cherish the present. If you stare only at what is coming and forget today, you will miss what is precious. Heaven does not begin only after death. Heaven begins when you let me dwell within. When you live in love, forgiveness, and peace, you taste heaven here on earth. That itself testifies to the world that the kingdom is not distant but near, manifest in every act of loving kindness. Beloved, to live toward eternity, you must learn to let go of fleeting things. Fame, wealth, power, all will pass. They may grant fleeting satisfaction, but cannot fill the deep thirst of the soul. You have seen many who attained the world's desires, yet remain empty. Only love and eternal hope can satisfy. Set your heart on what does not fade, and you will find your soul light and free. Child, when you live for the eternal, you will not fear death. What is thought to be an end will become a doorway to a fuller life. As the grain of wheat must die to bear much fruit, so your death is a passage into more abundant life. Understanding this gives you courage to live each day fully. You will not waste time on petty things, but invest in that which has everlasting worth. That peace will spread to those around you so they too may find hope. My child, eternal hope is not meant for you alone, but for you to share. There are so many who live in despair, convinced their lives are a chain of failures leading to nothingness. They need someone to tell them that hope still remains. And you, with the light and love within you, are the one who can give them that hope. You do not need lofty words, only an act of care, an encouraging sentence, a genuine presence. When you do these things, you sow in their hearts the seed of eternal hope. Let hope become a song in your heart each day. When you wake, sing the song of hope that today is a new gift. When you work, keep the song of hope that every task contributes to a greater plan. When you sleep, whisper the song of hope that tomorrow will be brighter. As that song rises within you, it will gradually become the rhythm of your whole life. Others will hear that melody in the way you live, and they will want to sing along. Remember that eternal hope is not merely the light at the end of the tunnel, but the lamp that lights each step you take today. It does more than point to the goal. It illuminates the journey itself. When you live with hope, you will not fear the darkness because you know it is temporary. When you keep hope, you will not grow weary because you know tomorrow is always open. And when you share hope, you help build a world where heaven draws nearer. My beloved child, if eternal hope is a lighthouse shining into the distance, then mindfulness is the small lantern you carry with each step along the way. No one can live fully for what is to come while neglecting the present. No one can enter the kingdom if they have not learned to live awake on earth. Therefore, I want you not only to gaze at the horizon, but also to tend each step you take today. Each day is a lesson. Each choice is a seed sown into the eternal field. If you are faithful in small things, you will be prepared for great glory. Remember that mindfulness is not living in fear, but living with an open heart and a clear mind. It is the awareness that each moment is precious, that every action matters. When you are awake, you will not drift along a meaningless current, but will live intentionally. You will know when to pause and listen, to honor each encounter, to recognize my footprints in the small details. A passing breeze, a blooming flower, a smile given each can become a reminder that I am present. Beloved, mindfulness also means guarding your soul against the seductions of the world. This world is full of temptations that cause you to forget your true purpose, the scramble for fame, the call of power, the lure of pleasure. These things are not intrinsically evil, but when you let them consume your mind, you will lose your way. Mindfulness helps you stop and ask, does this bring me closer to the kingdom? If not, have the courage to let it go. Each time you choose to release something meaningless, you approach true freedom. My child, keep the flame of hope burning within, for it is the power that sustains mindfulness. Without hope, vigilance becomes a burden, making you weary from always having to be on guard. But with hope, mindfulness becomes joy, because you know every act of yours is preparing for a sure glory. Hope is the fuel that keeps the lantern of awareness glowing steadily, never extinguished. Even if the night is long and the road far, that flame will shine, leading you forward. I know there will be days when your hope will falter. The darkness of doubt, the sting of failure, the long silence of unanswered prayer can make you stagger. But remember, hope is not built on circumstances, but on my promises. Circumstances may change, emotions may rise and fall, yet my promises never change. Remember what Hebrews 10:23 says, "Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful." When you anchor your soul to that promise, your hope will never sink. Do not forget that watchfulness is also shown by how you use your time. Time is an invaluable gift given to you only once. A day that passes will never return. If you squander it, you cannot buy it back with all the gold in the world. Therefore, treat time as a sacred treasure. Prioritize what holds eternal value: love, justice, mercy. Do not allow trivialities to devour your days. Remember that when you live each day with purpose, you are weaving a beautiful tapestry for eternity. Being watchful also means being prepared. The vigilant person is not only aware of the present, but ready for the future. Remember the parable of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise and brought extra oil. 5 were foolish and did not. When the bridegroom came, only those who were prepared entered the wedding feast. Be the one who is ready. Keep the lamp of your soul continually filled with the oil of love, faith, and hope. When the hour comes, you will step into full joy and will not be left outside. My child, watchfulness helps you perceive the signs along the way. At times, I send reminders through others, through events, or even through creation itself. If you are not watchful, you will miss them, but if you open your heart, you will recognize that I am still whispering. A friend's word, a song, a scripture you encounter by chance, any of these can be a call. When you become attentive to these signs, you will find your journey is not blind but guided in subtle, loving ways. Beloved, let watchfulness and hope work together like 2 wings of a bird. With watchfulness alone, you will bear heavy burdens. With hope alone, you may drift into vague daydreams. But when both are present, you will soar high while remaining steady. Watchfulness keeps you rooted in the present. Hope lifts you toward the future. When these 2 are fused, you will live a life that is both genuine and radiant, rooted in the earth, yet belonging to the heavens. Watchfulness and hope will also keep you standing firm through trials. When storms come, the unwary will panic and the hopeless will give in. But if you are watchful and hold fast, to hope you will not fall. You will be like the one who built his house on the rock. Rain will fall, winds will blow, waves will crash, yet the house will not collapse because its foundation is secure. That very stability will become a powerful testimony to the world that faith in me is real and hope in me is unshakable. This world is full of people sleeping in illusions, full of those drowning in despair. They need someone to awaken them. They need someone to kindle the flame. You, by living watchful and hopeful, will be that invitation. Others will notice a difference in you, a peace that no circumstance can steal, a hope that nothing can shake, and they will ask, "What is your secret?" Then point them to me. Show them that the secret is me, the source of enduring hope, the one who guides you through every day. My beloved, after all I have whispered to you about light, faith, love, and hope, I now bring you to the convergence point to live fully, to live wholly, without dividing the temporary from the eternal. Once you understand that this life is only the opening chapter of a grander story, you will no longer live superficially, nor waste a single breath. You will learn to love more deeply, to believe more firmly, to hope more boldly. In all of this, you will discover that the new life I promised is not merely something in the future, it is unfolding here and now. Remember that this new life does not begin only when you enter the world to come. It begins the moment you open your heart to me. Each time you choose light over darkness, it is a sign of new life. Each time you choose forgiveness over resentment, you step into heaven right here on earth. Each time you choose love over selfishness, you write a new page of the eternal story. You need not wait until the end to taste everlasting life. You can experience it today in every choice and every action. This is the mystery. Many miss eternity is not only a place, it is also a way of living. You may at times wonder, am I strong enough to live this way? The answer is you are not by yourself, but with me you are. Do not seek strength in your own resources, seek it in me. Do not think you must be perfect to be loved. Believe that my love makes you whole. I did not choose you because you are strong. I chose you so I could strengthen you. I do not love you because you deserve it. I love you to make you deserving. So walk freely, not under the burden of proving yourself, but in the joy of knowing you were loved before you had to do anything at all. My child, this new life is also an invitation for you to become a sign to others. The world does not need more theories. It needs living witnesses. When people see in you a peace untouched by circumstance, they will long to know its source. When they see you still hopeful amid trials, they will ask why. When they sense love in your eyes, words, and deeds, they will yearn to touch that same source of love. In those moments, you need not speak much. Your life will be the most eloquent sermon. Know that a new beginning is never something you keep to yourself. It always resonates outward. When one candle is lit, it does not hoard its light. It passes that light to other candles. So it is with you. When you live a new life, you are lighting the candles around you. A community brightened by those candles will illuminate a city. A bright city will shine upon a nation, and a bright nation will give glory to the whole world. You may think yourself small, but in my hands you are an essential part of a grand design, far beyond comprehension. My child, this journey does not promise ease, but it does promise a glorious end. You will still face trials, you will still wrestle with inner conflicts, you will still endure long nights without answers. But remember, trials do not come to destroy you, they come to refine you. Wrestling is not to make you weaker, but to forge endurance in you. The long nights are not to drive you to despair, but to make you cherish the light more. Every step, however rugged, draws you nearer to your true home, and when you look back, you will see that it was all worth it. Beloved, finally, I want you to understand that eternity is not only a reward, but also an identity. You were made for eternity. Your essence is not fleeting dust, but a soul bearing an eternal breath. When you grasp this, you will no longer live as one who is temporary, but as a citizen of the kingdom. Everything you do on earth echoes into the ages. Every tear you shed is kept in my jar. Every prayer you utter is recorded at the throne. You are not invisible, you are not forgotten. You are always held in my heart today and forever. Do not see this as an ending. See it as the true beginning. You have heard the call you have taken, the step you have opened your heart, and now you are invited to live fully in the new reality. A reality where light replaces darkness, where love triumphs over hatred, where hope overcomes despair. That reality is not reserved for later alone. It is for today, and you with each heartbeat are participating in it. Therefore, step forth with renewed faith, with renewed love, with renewed hope. Let each day of your life become proof that rebirth is real. Let each action of yours be a seed sown into the eternal field. Let each word you speak be a stream refreshing thirsty souls, and let your very life become a living thanksgiving resounding without end. And when your journey on earth is finished, you will not step into darkness, but into an even greater light. You will hear me call, "Well done, faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master." Then every tear will be wiped away, every pain will pass, and only endless joy will remain. You will see that every sacrifice was worthwhile, every waiting was valuable, every act of faith was rewarded. And you will sing with all peoples and nations a song of love that never fades. Thank you for listening to today's message. Press subscribe and turn on the notification bell so we may together receive the living words, build steadfast faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.